Another great week on tour. TGL will crown a champion tonight, and we go fishing for some new threads. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Tavern. Yeah. I think he's back to form. He fell off a little bit last year, but he also was named Ryder Cup captain. Give me Steve Bradley. How's everybody doing this evening?
What's going on?
What a color scheme.
It is.
I know, right?
We're getting ready for
yes. I know. Isn't that the greatest envelope in the world?
It's so nice.
Bradley, just say it, Bradley. Bradley, just say it. Drink.
Everyone who has one of these envelopes, if you want to hold them up right now. Steve, where's yours?
Where's yours, Steve?
I'm going to hold something up. It's not going to be an envelope.
My gnome is keeping
It is literally the greatest thing to receive in your mailbox. Now, mine is from a couple years ago now. Greg, yours is this year. But Greg, we talked about it when I got mine. What does it feel like to get that envelope in the mail?
So it was stressful because I am just waiting for that to show up with all the stuff with the mail here in Indianapolis. But luckily it comes through UPS. Yeah. So it was delivered. My wife,
the official delivery company of the Masters.
Yes.
Thanks for interrupting. But my lovely wife was working from home that day, and I saw that it was being delivered, and I texted her. I said, "Go to the door now. Just accept this. Make sure it doesn't sit on our porch."
Yeah.
And she did. So it was very, very nice when I was at work waiting to go home and see it the rest of the day.
Yeah. Now there's an email that you get beforehand with everything, and unlike somebody in this group that accidentally deleted it and had to go back and find it, there's a whole process that's involved with it.
Well, so I didn't get the email right away. So I saw people that started to get like the rejection letters and stuff like that. So
yep.
What I did is I went to the website and I logged in, and instead of the rejection, it said, which I was waiting for the tradition unlike any other of the rejection every year. Yeah. And it said, "Congratulations." And I went, hold on, refresh. Let me make sure this is correct here. And you're just shocked because you don't think it's going to happen. You've been doing this for over 20 years now.
20 years, yeah.
Yeah, since they started doing this again. And it is just it's really cool to get to go to this. This is luckily you won it a few years ago and we all got to go, which was great. So this time around it's nice because I'm not going to be overwhelmed by the first time visit. Right. Now I can kind of know what I want to see, know where I want to go, know what I missed last time, because you want to get so much. And know that some
merchandise is available out on the course at one of the stands.
Yeah, that's true. You don't have to just get it in the merchandise house, which still is an amazing thing to see. So, obviously, my weekend was pretty great with that arriving. How was your guys' weekend?
I got off a boat.
That's true. You were.
Yeah, you did get off a boat. Yeah. I actually played golf. The Orlando Golfer and I went down to Sebring and played Sun and Lake on Saturday. I'll be honest with you, I had never been down there to play, and it was a bad little track. So
yeah. No, so we got some golfing. I'm not getting golf in here. It's warmed up. The courses are open. We are officially in season now up here, but the weather just hasn't been holding up.
Yeah, our 9-hole is walking only right now, but we do have we have our men's league draft coming up next week with some fabulous items from our partners at Desert Fox and the Golfing Dads Tavern.
Perfect.
Speaking of that, let's hop into that.
There we go.
Speaking of our friends at Desert Fox Golf, our friends at Desert Fox Golf launched their NCAA logoed speaker and phone caddy at the end of 2024, but they are really hitting their stride just in time for March Madness. With 14 universities now available and 12 more approved and coming soon, like within the next 2 to 4 weeks. Make sure you're following at Desert Fox Golf on Instagram and TikTok for all of their updates. The newest options include LSU, Texas Christian University, Purdue, Texas Tech, BYU, and Northern Arizona, keeping true to their local roots out in Arizona. Don't forget, you save 15% off your entire order by using the discount code GolfingDads. Show off your school pride and enjoy some of the best golf accessories on the market today.
I like how you had to put your glasses on for that.
Oh, no, that was the first thing I noticed.
The font was really small. I'll just say that.
So, yes, get your Nittany Lions gear ready. I will say, if you are a Nittany Lion out there, the phone caddy, which I don't have on me, has the We Are, has the lion on it. It is fantastic. So,
yes.
You know that Chris Usher was very happy when one of our followers here that LSU is now available. So he is ordering one of those. So
one of the fabulous options is a cigar holder for the phone caddy.
Which, if you don't, I will tell you, I don't smoke cigars, but that is a great glove holder. Like, you can use it for multiple things on there. So don't just think you need it for cigars if you're not a cigar smoker. So great stuff there.
But make sure you check out Desert Fox's stories. They've been running a logo contest. Unfortunately, one of us here, his logo did not advance past the first round. With
I
my
knew
real
I was
job.
supposed to vote for somebody.
Yeah, that's all right.
No, I voted for you. Don't worry.
but we do have our friend, the Orlando golfer, who is in that tournament. So make sure you go out and check the.
So is I don't know if Odin's watching. Odin Snipes is in
Alex,
there still as well too. Alex is in there as well too.
So go out and vote for some friends of the tavern.
Yes.
It is. It's great stuff there. And like we said, if you're looking for anything, use our code the Golfing Dads to get 15% off.
Yes.
So who watched TGL last night?
Last night, I'm watching it right now.
I'm watching it. It's on now too. Yeah, it's here on my iPad. But I watched that match last night, and I will tell you, I think one of the things that TGL has done throughout the season for this, obviously they adjusted the hammer rules to make it better and more competitive, but their ability to adapt, and then last night's match was awesome. Like, it came down to a putt on the last hole.
Well, you and I talked about this. When we watched the first few episodes of this, I'll call it episodes or matches, we said we saw some things that we were like, hey, maybe they should fix this, maybe they should do this, and even fans said the same thing. And the one thing that I think they did well is they listened and they tried to adjust on the fly. They listened to the players out there and said, hey, maybe we should do this. It's new. They knew they were going to make mistakes and they were willing to adjust, and very successfully, I think. I think it has gotten better over. He just left. He's a live fan.
I think that, going through the growing pains of a whole new sport, let's call it, because we haven't really seen indoor golf on this type of level, that they're going to come back, I think, even stronger next year. I would like to see them incorporate an actual Thor's hammer. We have the intellectual property for that. ESPN, come on, let's get Mjolnir in there. But I think what they've been able to do on the fly, the peak of Tiger in there, the first couple episodes, matches, whatever, I think really drew in the crowd. But I think for the purists and all of us, really it got more interesting, especially when they got around the green, or flailing one off the flagstick.
I mean, right now there's a controversial call being reviewed.
There's a review. Yeah. There's a rules review.
Did he throw the hammer too late? Is the question that's going on?
Correct.
Right now. So I'll be interested to see what happens here.
The rule is if you've addressed the shot, you can't throw the hammer.
Right.
And I feel that he had addressed the shot there. But like I said, I root for my hometown team of New York, since New Jersey doesn't have a team. But it's interesting to see how they're ruling.
I think there was some gamesmanship in that one. They gave it to him. They said that the hammer there, and they declined it. So interesting ruling there. But this is the part about this that's made this very interesting this season, is that you didn't know, and Dave, this is to your point, you didn't know what we were going to see. This is a brand new thing that we're getting into here. You kind of have to adapt to it. Whereas, and I'll use this, and I'm not bad-mouthing Liv when I say this. Liv was taking golf and just changing golf. You're still playing the same game out there.
Yeah.
Whereas this is a simulator golf, which is a little bit different. The courses are very, let's just say, Dave, our game back in the day, golden tee-ish.
I would say very golden tee-ish. We're looking at the Canyon quick draw right now that is
thanks, Ash.
Very interesting. But it's here's the thing. They're having fun, with this. It's not a serious stiff-lipped competition. I'd love to see them have a couple cocktails out there next year.
Yeah, that's true.
Enjoying, just like the everyday golfer, maybe toss a couple chicken tendies in there, like Tiger does for the crowd. But I think there's room to adapt for this. But overall, I've been impressed as it has progressed on through the course of the year.
And I like what they've done in the sense of you get to talk through shots with other players and be that team and like hear what's going on. And that's kind of adapted as the season's gone on too. And I think the players have been more engaged because they're getting used to this too. This is not like they knew what to do going into this, but now there's more strategy. So I think in season 2, you'll see it be a little more competitive, strategic, things like that. The one thing I still would like them to fix is the sound, because I feel they bleed in too much of the broadcast that is also broadcasting into the arena, and it's kind of doubling when it's on the broadcast. I'd like to see a broadcast that's more like when I'm watching an NFL game. I can hear the crowd. I can hear that that energy, and just figure out that audio, and I think it'll be great.
I think the other problem is that you have this almost, and I don't want to say empty arena, but you have all this empty space in the middle of the arena and not enough people in there, almost like a football stadium. So you run into the echoing there.
And like we said, this is new. This is very interesting on how it's kind of coming together. But like we said, I like how they've evolved. I like how they have gone through the season. I feel like the season went by super quick. Like I was expecting this to drag out a little bit longer, but I don't think that's a bad thing, because I think it's just a fun little thing at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Hey, before we wrap, let me ask you this question, Greg. So this was supposed to happen a year ago, and then the building deflated.
Deflategate.
Do you Deflategate?
Yeah.
Do you think if you go back 365 days, do you think it would have been this good a year ago, or do you think that extra time allowed them to have a better product out there?
I think it allowed them to have a better product out there, because I think that it helped the broadcast, and that's really where a lot of my issues are. I worry that the broadcast wouldn't have been as good as it was. I still think it can be better, but I just think that it let them build the hype up a little bit more. The one thing that I want to see next season, that I don't know we're gonna see next season, we all have matching uniforms on tonight.
We do.
I would love to see them kind of go to that, like where like an NBA team, you buy the jersey of your favorite player. I'd like to see them at least wear the hat, and maybe put like the logos of like Callaway on your shirt, like put that kind of stuff on there.
I think
you know who's a good friend of the Tavern that can outfit all of them? Caddy uniforms.
Caddy bibs.
Caddy bibs.
Yeah. But they have that stuff. Like you can go to,
or we could also just get our next guest to outfit everybody. We could get the team from Golfish to outfit everybody on TGL, and we could just do that. I think that would be great.
They do have some amazing clothing, so
yes.
But that's where I think I would like to see them kind of do that, because I'd like to see this as like our kids. Like if Ollie came to me and was like, "Oh, I'm rooting for New York. I want a New York hat," like because Ricky Fowler wears the New York hat. That's what I want to see. I want to see more of that. I don't know that it'll happen, but I just think it would be a little bit better.
Yeah. I think they needed to get through year number 1 to make sure year number 2 happens.
That's also true too. So, all right. With that, I think it is time for happy hour.
Yeah. You know, Greg, every year, and we as a group, the three of us, we sit down and put a lot of effort getting ready for the PGA show. And we spent some time, you and I spent 2 hours one night literally going through exhibitors and sitting here on an Excel spreadsheet and just typing in exhibitors that we want to see.
We went A to Z that night.
We did.
We went A to Z of exhibitors that night.
And we made a list, and the list was about 200 brands that we wanted to make sure that we didn't miss. That we knew this was like, we need to visit these booths. And one of the booths, you and I, we went to their website, we looked around, we really liked the products that they had. We liked what we saw, was Golfish. And showing up at their booth, and we were there late Wednesday night. Like we walked by, and I was like, "Oh, hey, Greg, it's Golfish." And literally, not only was it a cool brand with some cool products, but it had even cooler people. And I think 100%. That was one of the things that really, I felt like we didn't just meet a brand, we made friends there. And so we're really pleased tonight to announce and welcome to the Tavern, the CEO of Golfish, Jamie Duggan. Jamie, how are you, buddy?
Greg, Steve, Dave, how are you guys doing?
What's going on?
Well,
how's Connecticut?
Connecticut is starting to warm up. We're actually getting some rounds in right now.
Nice.
We don't need a lot of good weather to try to get out there and play. The grass is still a little brown, but that's okay. We can putt from the rough.
Nice. Dave putts from the rough. Dave's honestly the best putter out of the rough I've ever seen. I will tell you that. I remember those days where you're just begging for it to stop snowing and get out there. I grew up in New England, and I don't miss that. I'm glad I live in Florida now. So
yeah, they got the simulators now, right, that they never had. So you can go in and play it, but it's just not the same as going out on the course, obviously, Right, whenever we get on one of those, I'm always like, however long you can make the putt, if you can eliminate the putt, get rid of that, right? We just want to hit the ball here and have some fun with it. But, when we can too, we'll head south, right? We try to go south once or twice a year, get a couple of trips in. We were in Florida recently. I know you, Steve, were in Florida recently.
Yep.
So, it's always nice to break away and get some rounds in and, even some fishing for us. So, but Connecticut is getting there. We got the extra hour back, so that hour makes a difference in evenings as well.
Hey, I saw it on your social media this week. How was the Golf Expo in Hartford?
Oh, it was great. It was great, right? It's always amazing to meet new consumers, right? So we do so much of this where we're not actually out there and sitting in front and talking with our consumers. So to go to that and have people come up to our booth and say, "Hey, we love your stuff, and we can't believe you guys are here," and they're touching and they're feeling the stuff. And in that particular show, we were actually able to sell product, which is not the norm either. A lot of times, like the PGA show, we're sitting with buyers and we're sitting with green grass accounts and we're sitting with all these guys, and they're telling us all the things that we love to hear, right? But it's a different experience doing that with the consumer and even helping them get fitted. I heard you guys talking earlier about being fitted, right? Clothes, the way they fit you matter. And when you're building a brand or building a style, you try to build for what you think makes sense and what is a good fit. And then obviously you have your sizes within that. But to do it like on a personal level with people was really nice. We had one guy talking about, hey, I got the dad bod and there's so many of these things that are so tight. So I told him about this Fairfield stripe that we have, and I think it would complement him. And we still have the arms a little tight, so it's still a performance quarter zip. And he tried it on, and he was like, "Oh, this is it. It's awesome." And so it was a lot of fun. It was a very successful weekend for us.
Nice, that's awesome.
Jamie, that was the great thing when we met you at the PGA show. It was, I feel like it was that scene from Step Brothers where it was like, did we just become best friends? Yup.
Yeah.
It was, we came back, we talked to you on the way, we were telling you about our adventures at the PGA show, we were talking to you about your adventures, and so we got to know you there. So I think your story is really cool. You came here from Ireland when you were very young,
right,
and moved to Connecticut or the New England area at that time. So, how did your upbringing help lead you to start Golfish?
So I am one of 5 boys, right? And we were born in Ireland, and the Irish twins. We were literally all a year apart, right? So I remember here at one time we were all in high school, 1 year after the other. There was 4 of us in high school at the same time. But when we were younger, we would go fishing and we would go golfing, right? And when we came here to the States, I was 10 years old when we came here. So we brought that passion with us, right? And it's this brand of Golfish is very tight family knit. So when you come 3,000 miles and move, uproot and move, it's a big life-changing thing to do, right? And so when we would go and play golf and fishing as a kid, and I've said to my mom as an adult, how did you let 4 kids and 5 kids under the age of 10 go to the river by themselves and fish, right? And she said it was just a different time. I couldn't stop you, so all I could do was make sure that you could all swim and that you would stick together. So guess where we learned to swim? In that same river we were fishing in, right? There was no pools or anything at that time, right? At least where we came from was quite rural. So when we came here, the whole concept of the brand of Golfish was subconsciously really born all those years ago when we would say, and we used to do it like as kids fooling around, we'd go and play, and like we didn't have much, right? So I might be wearing something that might have a little name on it, and one of my brothers might say, well, who's sponsoring you today? And I would go, oh, and I would just look and I would say, oh, such and such a thing is sponsoring me. Who's sponsoring you? And he would say it, and that sort of just set a subconscious seed into building something. And then we would leave the course and we would go fishing, and that's either on the Sound, the large body of water around us is the Long Island Sound, right? So we would either go to the Sound and go fishing, or we would go do fly fishing in the river. And we used to always say, there should be something for golfing and fishing, right? And if we're going to the course, we got to change to go fishing. There should be something. So the whole concept of Golfish was really born out of that. So when we came here as kids, that was it. We grew up here. We always stayed. We all still live in Connecticut. I have one brother who lives in New York, but the rest of us all live in Connecticut, and we're still a very, very tight-knit family. And so that's really the backstory of growing up. And we still even own the house that we grew up in Ireland. So nice. We still have large ties there, still have a very large family. My mom is one of 13 kids. My dad's one of like 7 kids. So we have a large family. And, coming here then, I mean, I'm as American. I feel like I'm as American as any of you guys are. Some people talk to me and say, hey, you have an accent. Where is it from? And they can never quite place it. It just comes out the way it comes out. And I think we all kind of sound like that. So that's really the backstory of us, and really the beginning subconsciously of building the Golfish brand.
Well, I think that really came across when we met with you, was that like friendship, unity, family was apparent right away. And it was such a a great thing to see at a show where you kind of feel that with everybody that's there, but it was different when we got to your booth, which was really nice.
That's nice to hear, because it is a family affair, right? And when you're building something, and we're still a newer company, right? So when you're building something, you need to lean on family and friends, right? And do it. And I'm a very proud person where I kind of can't be told I can't do something. If I think I can do something, I can do it. And if somebody wants to help me, great. If you don't, I'm going to do it anyway. And so when family pitches in and they feel the passion that you're doing and become part of that, it's so amazing to do that, and it helps so much. And so it's great to hear that you see it. And you know what? I never really thought about it when we started, but when we talk with people, it doesn't resonate. People say, "This is amazing, right? This is your brother over here, and this is your cousin over here, and I just met your wife over here," or something out. And it's like, it's really nice that people really have that feeling when they talk about it. I never really thought about it when we first were kind of there as a family knit group, but it's since become quite apparent that people do seem to gravitate to that.
So, Jamie, let me ask you. It's been said that you can either golf or fish. You can't be good at both. So, which one are you better at?
Oh boy, that's a good question. I would say fishing is. I actually take both of them as a relaxing pastime, right? I get great pleasure out of them, and golf is the type of game where when I'm hitting the ball good, I think to myself, I can't miss. And there's other days where I go, I can't play, right? And I think we've all been there with golf.
Yep.
That's me every day.
Yeah, I've never stood at the end of a boat fishing with my knees shaking because I'm trying to make a 3-foot putt in a club match. So I would say fishing is probably the easier answer on that, right? Because you're even though in golf they say you're never up against anybody, if you go fishing all day and don't catch a thing, that's okay, right? If you go and you don't shoot well in golf, it can be frustrating. So I would say fishing is probably an easier answer for that.
Yeah. So, Jamie, I'm Dave. I'm the other guy.
Yeah.
he was playing golf all week, the week of the show.
I was playing golf all week during the PGA show.
We talked about you to Jamie and his family.
I know.
So.
But so I'm really excited about this because I'm to steal a little bit of Greg's next question here. I'm not a big fisherman, but my father-in-law and my brother-in-law usually carry some type of rod in their golf bag with them when we're out playing golf.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the logo of fish golfing, and you really you've kind of shared the story of the golf and the fish and growing up, but how really did this logo come about for you?
So I think actually the logo was the easiest part of the whole thing. So back even when conceptually we had this idea of building this company, it was always a fish swinging a golf club. It just made sense, right? You're golfing and you're fishing. How do you blend those two things? Well, if a fish is swinging a golf club, I mean, it just visually ties the two things together. And just talking about building it on the depth of my journey growing up and moving from Ireland and taking sort of passions that we had as kids, that's really what created the Golfish logo. I would say that was probably one of the easiest, most natural things that came together. There was nothing ever really forced about building this brand, or nothing ever really didn't come too organically. And in fact, we started as a belt company and really just started as like, well, let's do some belts and sort of like more on a hobby style. But I had a vision that I thought could be good. And now that doesn't mean at that time that it would be received the way it's been received, right? At that time it was conceptual, and as we started to put it together, it was just all very organic and really easy. We've never really ever forced anything to say, let's see if this works. It's always been like, this looks right. This is a fit. It feels like a Golfish style. It feels like a Golfish item. And we've just always put it together. And then even the word Golfish, I mean, it's Golfish. It's golf and it's fish, sharing the F. It's just Golfish. It's one word. And so the logo was quite easy and quite simple. It came very naturally to us.
And when I brought home, Greg had given me the catalogs when we caught up after the show, and I brought them home, and showed my wife because I'm not allowed to pick out anything by myself. She loved the logo, she loved the design, she loved the clothes. So the logo was what really drew me in on the start. So
yeah,
we all know brands by logos.
Yeah, well, what's really cool and really interesting is, even though we are really just getting into our third year as a company, we are put up against the big hitters when we have conversations with people. We're in a couple of green grass, country clubs, green grass accounts, we call them, this year. And one of the accounts literally said to me, Jamie, I'm taking Johnny off the shelf and you're taking all that space. And so it's like, that's pretty high praise, right? Because you're going up against these brands that are well established, and people have told us is one of the best newer golf brands coming out there, and we like to think we're more than just a golf brand. We're really a lifestyle, right? We want the lifestyle of the passions of golfing and fishing, and that whole thing to kind of merge together and read in what we do, right, and how we do it. So. It's great to hear, and people come up and they're just like the logo, it just catches their eye, and the golfing and the fishing, it just catches people's eye, and they're coming at us with it when they see us. And it was quite nice to see this weekend at the show where we were talking with customers and potential consumers at the show, and them just coming up and saying the fish, the logo, it's killer. So Dave, that's really nice to hear. I appreciate it, and tell your wife thank you. It's nice to hear, because it sounds like she's picky. So that's good.
There.
She picked
Dave. I don't
know. So what I will say, Jamie, is like I grew up close to the East Coast shoreline my whole life. Yeah. I started in New Jersey. I was close to the shore there. So in the tri-state area with Connecticut and New York. So went to New England on vacations. And that's kind of what drew me into when we were looking at your website. I was like, this is very much like what I grew up with. And then I moved after college. I moved to South Carolina. Dave and I both lived in Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. And this is very much that vibe too. Yeah. And that drew us to your website in the first place, which drew us to come meet you at the PGA show. But I got to say, when we got to see your stuff and got to actually feel the material and just how soft it is and how comfortable it is. I remember you going, hey, just feel this t-shirt. And I was blown away by just that t-shirt on how soft it was, that I knew that, like, even this shirt I got on today, I haven't had a polo that's been this comfortable all day long. I wore this to work today. And so what is it like not only to have this great, comfortable brand, but what drives you to keep creating these products for people like us and, like you said, those grassroots country clubs to enjoy? What drives you to keep doing that?
So, the drive is really just what you said, creating something that fits and feels right for everybody. So we take a lot of time in introducing a new product into our line, right? And as we grow as a company, and still, again, I mentioned before, we're newer, right? So as we bring products in, we try to do it in a sustainable way, right? So that we can continue to grow and continue to add products, but also not cut corners, right? So I would say for each product we bring in, we reject 10, right? We'll do samples. We have a couple of factories, amazing factories we work with around the world. But we also have some fabric suppliers that we lean on pretty heavy to talk about the fabrics, the fit, the types of fabrics, where those fabrics are made, how they perform, how they last, are they breathable? Are they better for performance? Who makes the best cotton? What part of the world? What are they shrinking? All of these different things matter to us, and we're always trying to get better. For me, I always say we need to get better, and we do get better. We've even had some products that we brought out a couple of years ago, and we did a reorder recently, and I did a subtle tweak on a sizing change on that. And everybody said to me, who would even know that? And I said, I know that. And so I know that, so I want it to be better, right? So, and the other thing is customer service is huge for us. If somebody is not happy with something or something doesn't perform right, we'll replace it, we'll return it. You know, we offer them something that might be a better fit for what they want to do. So, you know, building this brand is quite enjoyable, but building it right is extremely important. We will not cut a corner or compromise something if we don't think it works well. I'm actually wearing a polo right now that is a concept polo, right? This isn't even in our line. And I'm wearing it because just like you mentioned, Greg, I'll wear it, I'll wash it, I'll play golf in it, I'll throw it into the laundry, I'll crinkle it up, take it out. How does it look again? You know, does it, because we have different reasons. We want different things to perform in different ways. So we are, you know, we try them, we wash them, we beat them up a little bit, we do all this stuff with it. And then we say, okay, is this something we think we want to plug in? And so it's constantly about getting better and not just assuming what we have is good enough, right? And always bringing in the next best thing. So for us, it's really enjoyable to do that. And it's really enjoyable when guys like yourselves and our customers come back and say the things that we've been trying to achieve. So for you to say those types of things and customers to say those types of things, it's great to hear because it means what we're doing is not falling on deaf ears. People are seeing it, people are feeling it, and that's really important to us.
Nice.
That's what we love when we have people on the show is that just that passion you have behind your product and the belief you have behind it, because I'm just gonna tell you, it shows in the product. And that's the easiest thing for us to help with promoting something. So
yeah, that's I really appreciate it. And you know what? I mean, if business was easy, everybody'd have one, right? When you're dealing with people that are building products for you, or people even that are involved in the process, you know, it's watching those details, it's being diligent, it's being on top of those details, and just making sure that you know, we've had a couple of bumps along the way. We've had a couple of products come in and we say, well, that doesn't work for this reason, and so for that reason we are not going to actually launch that product. So you know, these types of things happen, but we are pretty aggressive in how we take care of it and watch things so that we minimize those issues. And so if something goes out that had a little bit of a performance issue, like we tell customers, you know, let us know, bring it back, we'll exchange it. And we've been very fortunate that we haven't had much of that. So it's been great.
Yeah. So Jamie, for, you know, while you're talking about your products and for our listeners out there, especially on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, what are all the products that Golfish carries right now?
So right now we do hats. We've got maybe 20 different styles of hats. We do T-shirts. As Greg mentioned, probably the most comfortable T-shirts you can find. I recently had a manufacturer that we work with in Peru come to me and say, Jamie, I don't know who's making these T-shirts for you, but I can't even make them this good. So it was like cool for one person who's in the business for 40 years to say that to me. Polos, and the polos are both performance polos and also leisure polos, cotton polos, different types of things, because we do cater to the boating world, right? We make quarter zips, we make hoodies, we make vests, we make belts. I mentioned before we started as a belt company, we probably have 30 different styles of belts that you can purchase. And we're bringing 3 new styles in this spring. They'll be hitting our site probably within the next 4 to 6 weeks. And then board shorts. And we're continuing to slowly introduce other things. This fall, we're bringing in pants. We've spent over a year designing and working on 2 styles of golf pants. They will come in 3 different colors for each style. One is more of a performance casual fit. The other one is a little bit more of a formal fit, but both have pliability to them so they can be worn you know, out to dinner or on the course. And that's a big thing for us. We want our products, when somebody is wearing it and you just finished playing golf, Dave, and your wife calls you and says, hey, I'm going to go out for dinner, I want you to say, I feel like I can go out the way I am dressed right now. I feel comfortable. I'm not overdressed. I'm not underdressed. I'm just going to go the way I am. And so that's definitely something we're conscious of as we build it. And it's not just proprietary to playing golf or proprietary to going out fishing or whatever, that it's something that is a lifestyle that blends right across everything we do, right? Because we all have wives and kids and lives outside of the activities that we do. And just to have that brand sort of blend straight across has been a thing. So those are the products that we carry, and we continue to slowly introduce additional products. And then even
I'm just waiting for the hoodie with the pocket right down here. That's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, we got a couple of really cool hoodies coming in, and even at the show this weekend, Steve, we brought a new hoodie that we have just to show, because we had a few accounts that came through looking at it. We could have sold 50 of those this weekend if we had them. We had people saying, I want to buy the prototype off the shelf, because the touch and the feel, there's something about when you can touch and feel the product rather than just see it online. And that's what was great about that. So we take time and energy into making sure that those touch and feel on those products are, what people want, so that they say, hey, this is a little bit better than the other things I'm seeing out there.
Well, Jamie, I'm going to say this. You know our sizes and have our addresses, obviously.
Yes.
When that comes in.
Yeah. and Jamie, these guys can attest. I'm pretty good at breaking things. Just look at my golf bag history. You can ride around the back of my work truck, and for me here in Iowa, I'm in Iowa. I'm in the country, so there really is no going out to eat for me without. So yeah, stuff can ride around in the back of my truck and go through a nice cleansing process that way.
Yeah. We actually, I had somebody talk to me recently. So that's something we do as well. We have one of the new hoodies we have coming in. We got it. We tested it. And I know it had a little bit of pilling to it. I loved it, right? So we have to have this hoodie. But it had a little pilling to it. And so I talked not with our manufacturer, but with the manufacturer of the fabric, and said to them, hey, we love this, but we noticed after testing this out, it has a little bit of pilling to it. What do we do for that? And they said, add into care instructions that it should be washed inside out. What's happening is, if you're washing with jeans and different things like that, that can potentially happen. So we make ourselves aware of that to then inform the consumer, hey, you should wash this particular product inside out to get better longevity out of the product. So we take time to investigate and find those types of things out.
So I need to read my labels before I do the wash.
Should read your labels.
I'm more impressed that Dave does the wash.
I'm impressed he reads.
We all know my wife works harder than I do.
I know, that's why we're making these comments.
Hey, Jamie, really quick from Instagram, Tomas Golf. He says hello from Sweden and wants to know if you need any ambassadors in Sweden.
So you know what? It's we've gotten requests for our products as far as Australia, right? Nice. And it's like it's so wild when you get that. Like, how do they even know that we exist, right? And so the way things get out is just amazing. But we actually recently met a young kid. His last name is escaping me. He's played high-level golf, and he plays on some of the Corn Ferry equivalent tours around Europe. And we actually recently connected with him. He came by, he happened to be at the PGA show. He does some caddying in the area, still plays high-level golf. And he just said, hey, listen, I absolutely love this product, and I'd love to do something with you guys. So we're collaborating with him to wear some Golfish stuff and do some social media stuff. And he's quite good at social media. So if we're Golfish Apparel on Instagram, you could hit us off and let us know what he's about, and we will talk with a lot of people about what we do. We do get a fair amount of solicitation, so it's got to make sense, right? And some people we send stuff out to, they're really good at creating content, and just the nature of what they do and where they're at works really well. Other times it doesn't work out quite the way we'd like it to work out, right? So, but you can hit us off on Instagram, and Nadine from our team, she heads that. She's always super diligent with following up with everybody.
Well, Jamie, as we move off of that, I think this is the best time now to make this announcement. Tonight on the Tavern, we do have a major announcement. It's one of the reasons that you're here this evening. Not only are you here as our guest tonight? But we have a major announcement for both us and you. As of this week, Golfish is now the official apparel provider for the Golfing Debts Tavern and the Golfing Debts Halfway House. We are super excited on our end to be in this partnership with you guys because it's more of a family partnership, and we were really excited about this. And the clothes look and feel great, and we're really excited about that as well. Why is it important for a company like Golfish to work together with the Golfing Dads?
Yeah, that's a great question. And again, we are super excited to be involved with you guys and doing this. And, we'll be constantly sending stuff to you guys, and maybe you'll wear different colors on some nights to mix up the ensemble. But
we all got into this, and we were like, okay, one of us has got to change.
It's funny because I had
it's the Masters Azalea.
Yeah, I told my team, I said, try to send them all something different every time we send out packages.
What's funny is I've got this sitting here that I'm literally wearing Thursday. I'm playing in a golf tournament, and it's sitting here because I was like, okay, I got to wear that Thursday.
Yeah. So we'll make sure you guys get enough stuff so that you can all have different stuff on. So, collaborating with you guys is it's building brand identity and building strength and credibility and awareness, right? So each time that we turn a stone and we get into an account or a golf course or into a boutique store or, collaborating with guys like you, it just builds strength. It's great to talk about it. It's great to get it out to your viewers and let them know who we are and what we're about. And, it's growing the brand. And so to be able to grow the brand and do it with awesome guys like you, why wouldn't we get involved in that? So that just makes a ton of sense. And we're really excited to be doing this with you guys.
Oh, that's awesome. We're excited to be a part of it too.
I've never felt like just a connection with a brand that, like I said, Dave and I lived in South Carolina at one point, and this is a perfect brand for I'm going there in a few weeks to visit my parents and play some golf. So it feels like it fits in everywhere I've been in my life. I mean,
where else are you going that week, Greg? Are you going to rub that in too?
I already rubbed that in earlier, and the hat says it all.
Yeah.
I will tell you, Jamie, I will be repping your stuff at Augusta. So
awesome. That's awesome. You got to send us some pictures of that. That's awesome. And you know what? Just to piggyback on that, Greg, we hear that all the time. You guys should be here. You guys should be there. You guys should be here. And we're working on that, right? So we're a small group. We're working on it. And some days it's like, okay, can we handle all this if it comes through? And other days we're like, okay, we're ready to burst out here. So, we're always open to conversations with people and areas and stores and different things and getting into different locations. South Carolina in the Charleston area and out of Kiowa Island and Hilton Head and up in Nantucket and up in the Cape and all these places, Newport. Like, we have been solicited from everywhere, and we're in talks with all kinds of people in different areas about carrying our brand. And being a newer company, we still get we get a ton of people who never heard of you guys. Who are you guys? And it's great to talk about it and tell them who we are. So I really want to thank you guys for having me on tonight to talk about Golfish. So it's exciting to introduce ourselves to potential new customers, and thank you, Greg, for wearing it to the Masters, and thank you, Steve. You had it last couple of weeks ago down at, I think, the Players.
At Bay Hill. I wore in the Pro-Am at Bay Hill.
At Bay Hill, yeah.
Even carrying a golf bag.
Let's caddying the Pro-Am, not playing.
Let's say he didn't play in the Pro-Am, people. He was caddying.
Don't worry. That'll change. Don't worry.
There's always time.
We're all looking forward to carrying Hayden's bag in the Pro-Am.
No, he'll carry mine.
So, Jamie, thanks for joining us tonight. We're really excited about everything to come. I'm hoping I get to meet you down the road here in a little bit. And stay tuned. We have some discount codes coming soon that you could get some of this gear from Golfish. But more importantly, Jamie, where can everybody out there in the tavern that's watching us tonight or listening on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, where can they find you?
So you can find us at golfish.com. It's our online store, and it's GOLFISH, one F, golfish.com. And you can find us there, and we'll have promo codes for the Dad's Tavern community. to use to get some discounts.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Awesome.
There we go.
Jamie, thank you, sir, for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. We will be in touch, I'm sure, soon. And we will definitely I've got some more pictures that we took this weekend. I know we posted a funny video of me throwing a golf ball in the water. But there's some more stuff coming. So
awesome. Thank you guys
for joining us tonight. And we're excited about the next stuff. Question here. Do you guys have 3X?
We do. We do have 3X. So we've actually had requests to go bigger rather than smaller. And we've had a ton of requests. Do we do women's products? We currently don't do women's products. And we go down to young adults, say like 12 years and up is kind of our belts and our polos and our t-shirts fit. We have talked about doing Golfish Guppies, which would be the kids version of it. So dad and the kids could have essentially the same thing. So we're working on some concept things for Golfish Guppies that would probably come before that. But we do go up to 3XL. And in fact, Tim Huron from the Champions Tour, we recently put together some products for him because turns out he's 3XL, and his sister had reached out to us to say, you guys make 3XL. Not a lot of people do. We love your product, so can we put some stuff together? So 3XL is in our repertoire of sizes.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, thank you,
Jamie,
sir, for joining us tonight. And
Appreciate it, guys.
We'll be in touch soon.
Super duper.
Cheers.
See you later.
Thanks.
Cheers. Thank you.
I got it.
It's
Just-
exciting.
Well, like I said,
Bradley, if they don't have it there, it'll be there soon.
like I said, I love when we have people on the show from all the brands that we talk to. When you see this passion behind what they do, that they're going to put that into the quality of the product, and you can really feel that in this quality of Golfish. So go out, check the website, order some stuff up because this is great. This collar on here,
and
this
color works well on all of us.
It does.
Obviously.
This is good.
Yeah.
Hey, we're better
Turn down
matching than
your
the
brightness.
TGL team tonight, okay?
We are.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's head to Smack of the Week. All right. Our Smack of the Week this week is brought to you by friend of the Tavern, recent guest, Mr. Yip Strickler. And I have to preface this one because there's a story behind the video that we're about to show. So I'm going to read this story so that you guys don't have to. And it says, to whom it may concern, myself and 2 other members were playing in the 3-man scramble today, and we were playing behind the blank 3-ball because of rumors that we had heard many times previously about these. We kept a good eye on them. And to my horror, when I saw their scorecard, it was very evident that the rumors were indeed true, and they have all put down a lot of false scores. They go on to talk about wanting the club to do something. They ended up taking matters into their own hands, and here we go. You pinned him against the wall. We really should have done play-by-play for this one.
I would
It's
say,
a little much for a 3-man scramble, but yeah,
here's the thing.
After 18 holes of transfusions, those things happen.
People are gonna cheat. People are gonna. That's why we got Yip out there doing this. I mean, you don't have to cheat. You don't have to cheat when you're using the Bridgestone mindset. That'll put your game right where it needs to be. But you don't need to cry over these things. Like stuff like this happens. You don't need to whine or cry. Like you go to your the league or the club that you're in and speak your piece. And if they're not going to do anything about it, then that's on them for not having a fair match. If you can prove it, or you get our favorite private journalists out there who go on the
investigating
case and
investigating handicaps that precede
I couldn't
private
say his
golfing
whole
clubs.
thing. So, yeah, I couldn't say
Yeah.
his whole thing. He does it better than anybody. But Yip is out there looking at these things because it happens, and it's. I mean,
Yeah.
you're just ruining the game at that point for anybody. But you know what? That's on you. So, all right, let's get into last call.
Oh,
what a week!
I'm trying to figure out, and you know what? Congratulations to Victor Hovland.
100%.
But I have never seen a regular PGA Tour event turn into the U.S. Open and have players breaking clubs.
It was great.
Sahith Theegala throwing one, like impaling it into the ground.
Was it? Who was it that
Patton
broke
Kazire
the sprinkler
kicking
head?
his putter 40 yards? That was Adam Hadwin breaking a sprinkler head.
When you get a Canadian to break a sprinkler head, come on,
right? Like what? Is
and
the
then
problem
sit there
here?
and fix it because that's what Canadians do.
That's right.
Oh, so sorry. So sorry.
Yeah.
I felt bad for Justin Thomas. I honestly think he lost the golf tournament on the 70th hole when he hit driver off that tee that he did not need to hit driver off of. And I thought that was just poor club selection, and that was what did him in.
Well, and kudos to him for going into the scorer's tent and congratulating Victor on his win.
Yeah.
I did like his last comment though. See you at Augusta.
Yeah.
Like as he's
I think
walking out.
Justin, let's try and make the cut at Augusta this year, please.
I think that the last June we roasted Rory McIlroy for not doing that.
Yeah.
So kudos to Justin for sit on the sword. Yeah, it was really good sportsmanship on his part.
But I feel the sportsmanship on the PGA Tour kind of took a decline with this whole like live thing, and people kind of with the whole PIF and everything that was going on, the sportsmanship kind of took to the back burner. I feel this year you're seeing it come back. You're seeing this like camaraderie. When you lose, you're gracefully lose, and when you win, you gracefully win. And I really like that on the PGA Tour. That's historically what you see. And I don't think it fell off, but I think we're getting back to more norms as of late.
Yes. No, I would agree with that. On to Texas this week. We go to Houston.
Yes.
Scotty's back in the field.
Scotty's in the field. Yeah.
I'm going to ask this question. I'm going to throw it out there. Who's picking first this week? I'm just going to throw this out there. Okay. Is he still available for you?
Well,
and whether I am here or not, guys, it's always odds with Dave. After last
odds with
week,
Dave presented by.
making graphics. That's odds with Dave presented by Jamie. I'm going to use him if he comes on one week again.
Odds with Dave presented by Nikon, the official rangefinder of the LPGA Tour, and the Golfing Dads Tavern.
Yes, but no, I am not taking who you were starting in that conversation. He's not available to me because Bay Hill happened this month.
So, did Phil poke the bear though?
Yes, he did.
Like saying that Scotty wasn't going to get a win before the Ryder Cup this year?
But
what are you doing? Do you just want to? I mean, and then coming out and saying that Joaquin Neiman is the number one player in the world? That's for another date and time.
This has always been what it is. So it's
you're right. Yeah. So Phil decided to poke the bear. I do think. I'm going to assume Scotty's coming off as the favorite.
Scotty's 3.5 to 1. Rory's 6.5. And then you can drop way down to Aaron Ray at 28. Wyndham Clark at 30. JJ Spawn at 30. Finau at 30. Minwoo, Michael Kim, Jason Day, Davis Thompson, Sung J M at 35. Taylor Pendrith at 40. Siwoo Kim at 45. Maverick at 50. Sahith at 50. So
where's Davis Riley? It's a home game for him. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I know.
And he's been hot through the Florida swing. So
Ricky Fowler's 80 to 1.
Ooh,
Davis Riley 90 to 1.
Ooh. Yeah.
So I've already locked in my first pick. I had it typed into my spreadsheet already. I'm taking Rory.
Wow.
Okay.
There's going out on a limb if I haven't ever seen one from Dave.
Yep. Greg?
He goes back and I've been going back and forth. I don't know who to pick this week.
You can't take Scotty either, can you?
I can't take Scotty.
Oh.
No, you took Scotty players.
Yeah, I said I can't pick Scotty. Yeah. So
yeah,
Scotty can fall to you if you want Scotty. Do you want Scotty?
I'll take Scotty.
Okay, so there you go. I'll just give myself a little more time here. I mean, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
It's.
I like Finau this week. I like the Gala. I think the Gala could be a top 10. Jason Day sitting there at 35.
Jason Day in the Bridgestone Mindset Golf Ball.
You know what? I feel he's had. I have not taken him. Someone else has taken him already this season. I feel he's had some good. I'm gonna go Aaron Rye.
Ooh.
Nice.
That's where I'm gonna go.
I had him earlier.
And you did very well with him. Yeah.
Yes, I did.
So I think this is close to Mexico.
Well, see, I have a chance to take it. I have a chance to take him next week at Valero, but Ricky's probably not going to play there next week as they get ready for the Masters. So
yeah, I think I'm going to take him.
Rory.
He's Rory. Yeah. I know. We know who you meant. We know who you really love, and it's Ricky.
Which player with an R is he taking?
Yeah.
So it's really just interesting. But with that, Jamie, thank you. Thank you to Golfish for being our new apparel sponsor. Fantastic stuff. Check them out. Check out all of our fantastic sponsors: the Bridgestone Mindset Golf Ball, Desert Fox, and your Nikon rangefinder there. So,
and for those of us that got the envelope in the mail,
if we could only be sponsored by Augusta National Golf Club, like that's when you get the thing that just says that's where it's from. So yeah. So all right, with that, have a great night.
Cheers.
Everybody.
See you.
I'm really fortunate, man. I mean, having an opportunity to build something that's
viral on our TikTok. That somebody was commenting about playing with